what about the struggles of Jalen Hurts? Nobody asked that question. All the conversations have been going on about Tanner McKee and everything else. What you got is you don't have anybody asking the most important question. I mean, the $50 million question is, what about your quarterback struggling, Nick? Instead, it's about Kevin Patullo, the scapegoat number 10 for Jalen Hurts. One of the most anticipated 4 hours each and every single day in the city of brotherly love is with your boy, Big Silz. Welcome aboard. And thank all of you for making this show one of the most viewed and one of the most controversial shows in all of Philadelphia and all of Eagle Talk. Also NFL, college football. We'll find out what that mess is tonight. Can't wait to see that nightmare. But again, you know why? Because we tell the truth. We are not glazed donuts. We do not kneel to the heels of the Jalenites. We don't do any of that. We just tell the truth. So much so, you got other radio companies now in Philly trying to counter-program Big Silz. They even put Bill Cunnilingus 2-6. How you doing? Who's he? Anyway. Hey, we were glad to get the kid off the ground. He was an intern here. How you doing? Couldn't get a normal gig, so he was an intern. How you doing? That's the power of JAKIB. How you doing? Everyone's trying to put a nail right in our box. It can't happen. Hit that like button. We appreciate y'all. Boy, I'll tell you, man, sports talk in Philadelphia right now is at its apex. For me, the content out of your city and off of your team is so spectacular. I mean, Xander said it perfectly a couple days ago. You're the Cowboys, but winners. I mean, it's a drama-filled winning football team. You can't get any better than that. I mean, it's absolutely sensational. For me, this is gold. This is gold content. Hit that like button. Super chats go to the top. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Hey, man. Hey, I got to say, I saw the interview yesterday in the press conference with Nick Sirianni. And you know what I couldn't still figure out one thing. You know what that was? Why didn't anybody ask the most important question in the building when it came to Nick Sirianni? Nobody asked the most important question. And you know what that was? Hey, Nick, what about the struggles of Jalen Hurts? Nobody asked that question. All the conversations have been going on about Tanner McKee and everything else. What you got is you don't have anybody asking the most important question. I mean, the $50 million question is, what about your quarterback struggling, Nick? Instead, it's about Kevin Patullo, the scapegoat number 10 for Jalen Hurts. Ask the question. Hey, what about your quarterback struggling? What do you make of that? Anything? Is there anything to the quarterback struggles? Nobody asked the question. One of the most important things you could ask. Nobody cared. Okay? Nobody asked it. Hey, Nick, why'd your QB struggling? Instead, it's, what about the play caller? What about the play? It's like adding a conversation on about the Philadelphia Phillies batting coach. Hey, why is it Bryce Harper hitting? Is it the batting coach? What do you mean a batting coach? Nobody's suggesting to you that Kevin Patullo is a great play caller. I even heard Nick even open up to the idea that we're evaluating scheme. Whatever that means that's something coming down from the owner. The owner now has made it very clear When you hear Nick Sirianni making a comment like that, everything's open for conversation. Hey, Silz, who's your All-American for right guard and tackle? I haven't sent my ballot in yet. I'll let you know. I'm still looking at it. I got my ballot, and I'm going to name my All-American team. I'll post it on my X account at Dan Sileo Show. Not sure yet. Okay? Not sure yet. So that's it. All you Jalenites, blame Kevin Patullo. How pathetic. I mean, how pathetic. Now, let me ask you something. And listen, we're going to start this off. By the way, Mark Farzetta will join us at 4:30. Xander will join us at 3:30. Is Jalen Hurts on the hot seat? Oh, top 10 quarterbacks and top 10 teams will also be today. Let me phrase and let me go more into what I mean by hot seat. If the Philadelphia Eagles limp to the finish, they get bounced in the opening playoff game. The Super Bowl probably gives him what? The benefit of the doubt. Right? That'll be 2 bad seasons in 3 years. With a Super Bowl he was carried to by Barkley. No? If he limps to the finish line, he wasn't really a factor last year's offense. Obviously, that's a factor now because we're going to look at the Philadelphia Eagles and who they are right now. Sitting with 11 games in, we know who they are. You can't hide from it. I think this is irrelevant. I think the Super Bowl MVP is irrelevant because the Super Bowl MVP has not been it's not been an indicator on how he's played the last 3 years. Last year, what do you have? 2,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. Guy was a caboose a year ago with Barkley. This year, when asked to be more of a passer, the offense has been terrible. I mean, I see the same guy. I don't see any different guy than I did a year ago. Super Bowl MVP is irrelevant right now as far as I'm concerned. Super Bowl MVPs don't play like that. Right? If you're a Super Bowl MVP, you play like a Super Bowl MVP every week. That guy doesn't play like that every week. As a matter of fact, his best game he's ever played in the biggest game has been the Super Bowl. Other than that, these 11 games, they've been, except for the New York Giant game, they've been okay. They've been below average. Jalen definitely playing like crap, but Patullo hasn't helped at all either. Well, that's a Nick decision and a Howie Roseman and a Jeffrey Lurie decision. So let me get this right. The head football coach, the general manager, and the owner thought it was in the best interest to give Jalen Hurts a training wheels offensive coordinator. Why? Because he runs a training wheels offensive scheme. Doesn't that make sense? Think about it. Follow me here, guys. Jalen Hurts was given a first-year coordinator and a limited playbook by a first-year OC calling plays. Why? Well, because the quarterback is a limited quarterback. You give him a limited OC. Isn't that why they hired him? You're not going to hire a high-complex offensive coordinator for Hurts. What would he do with it? He doesn't have the capability of playing in a high-stakes offense. Get this. The people they hired should tell you what they think of him. We hired a first-year head caller of plays because the quarterback is really limited. So does it really matter? Get this. That's not a, what do you call it? That's not a hot take. That's reality. When you want to have a high-profiled OC, guess what you did too? You know what even you did a year ago? You had a high-octane offensive coordinator a year ago, and you dummied him down. Hurts is a Dollar General Russell Wilson. He's a cheap man's version of Russell Wilson, absolutely. Wilson's a better player. We need him to run, correct. The box is loaded on Saquon. Interior O-line is a mess. And the back end doesn't respect the wide receivers. He needs to run to spread the field. It's December. It's now or never to get this offense going. Anthony, I completely agree with you. Think about that for a second, what I'm saying to you guys. You know, I've been listening for the last 24 hours on what everybody's saying about Jalen, about the offense. Get this. You can't blame the Eagles for hiring Kevin Patullo. You know why? They don't think that much of the quarterback in his knowledge of the game and his IQ of a high-powered offense and a high-level passing game. They don't think that highly of him. I honestly think they hired him because if he succeeded, they would get more than 1 year with him. I think he'd be a head coaching candidate. New OC doesn't fix 14 penalties. Okay? So you're blaming the penalties on who? The offensive coordinator? You got the same personnel playing. Landon Dickerson? The center? You added Steen? Mulata's there? Okay, Fred. Stepping in. Got the same wide receivers. Got the same running back. And you got the same quarterback. You tell me. 2 players have been added to the offense. 2. And they can't figure it out. Kind of weird to me. Get this. You see what M. Reyes said? 14 penalties can't be fixed by the OC. Well, how come Vic is doing the best he can on the defensive side with 5 new players? Think about that. Because Vic's a better coach. Hey, I think Tyler Steen has been okay. John and everyone else in Philly thinks he's great. I don't. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's anybody special. Like, do I think he's better than Isaac Seumalo? No. Do I even think he was more of a dominant player than Cam Jurgens when Cam played? No. He's clearly not in Becton's league. I mean, he's been the lesser of every guy that you've had there the last 5 years. Can't RPO. If you can't block, can't run the ball. Pass is the only option left. Where's that getting us? One and done, my opinion. Silz, let's say we decide to move on from Hurts. Would signing Baker, if Tampa doesn't pay him, or are you going into the draft with top 3? Hey, stop thinking that. You're tied to Hurts until Hurts says he doesn't want to play anymore. Stop with that conversation. Let's put Tanner in. Put Tanner in for what? Jalen Hurts will be on your football team as long as he sows seeds to be on this football team. As long as he feels like he wants to be an Eagle, you can't do anything about it. He's got a no trade clause. You're fucking stuck with that guy. Tanner McKee here, do this. You're stuck with that dude. You guys are wanting to play Tanner? So you think an organization's going to play a 6th-round draft choice and keep Jalen Hurts for the next 4 years on their roster making $51 million? In what world are you from? What world are you in? Still, serious question. How would you fix the offense? What would be the first thing you'd address, the players or the play caller? Players. Your center and your two guards suck right now. Plain and simple. They're having horrible years. You know why I know that? Because the last 3 years you've had Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, and Saquon Barkley. All of them went to the Pro Bowl. It didn't really matter who was running the ball for you. Saquon was just the best of the group. It's the offensive line that's lost a step. Barkley is making business decisions. He's looking for the easy lane. I get it. You don't want to be hit anymore. Okay? And he plays like it. And for the record, I'll go back one more time and say this. I don't think Saquon Barkley put the work in this year. I think he's out of hitting shape. He wasn't ready to go another 400 hits or for another 400 carries. He just wasn't. And he's playing like it. Do you think that guy's playing like he's ready to carry the ball 400 times? No fucking way. No way. How many people in here believe that Saquon Barkley looks like he's in position to carry the ball 400 times? No way is he in that room. I told you, I was talking to Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson said he didn't prepare his body this year. Dickerson went for 390 carries, 380 carries, and 404 in his first 3 years. He said he had to do everything in his power to have the conditioning, to take the hits, and to take the punishment. Saquon didn't put the work in. He's out making fucking videos, and he's out doing Baker Mayfield shit, doing commercials and what have you, doing all the stuff that superstars do. He's not, of all the guys who were not ready to play this year, he's one of them. And his play shows it. The offensive line has been banged up, and he's making the business decisions. Eric Dickerson will tell you, hey, if you're going to carry the ball and you're going to be the bell cow for a team, you got to be in hitting shape. And he's not. He's a one-year wonder. You have guys that are still with the Super Bowl hangover. And the biggest Super Bowl hangover is the running back. Tell me I'm wrong. O-line gets banged up, and the running back still can't get anything. He can't even get out of his own way. He can't get out of his own way. Get this. Okay. I'll try to tell you what a Hall of Fame running back told me. I asked him what was wrong the other night with Saquon Barkley. By the way, I'm not talking about in shape. I'm not talking about being in condition. I'm talking about hitting condition. I want to show you guys something that Eric Dickerson pointed out to me about Saquon Barkley. Okay? I'm going to show you something. And this was Dickerson who pointed this out to me. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Here's the carries that he's had in his career. 261, 217, 19, 280, 247, 345. And right now, what is he on pace for? Let's see here. Let me get my calculator here. And what's he on pace for this year? And how many carries he has through 8 games. So, and this was Eric Dickerson pointing this out. A Hall of Fame running back who owns the record that Barkley was trying to run down. So he's got 198 carries. Okay? He's averaging 18 carries a game. Last year, in the regular season, you're talking about a guy who averaged 25 carries a game. He's averaging 13 carries a game. Where are you fucking going with that? He's not ready to carry the ball 300 times. And he's only carried the ball 300 times one time in his career. One time. How old is this guy, too? Barkley's now 28 years old. And he's only carried the ball 300 times once in his career. Once in his career. Okay? Once. And right now he's averaging the least amount of yards he's had since 2020. He's not ready to carry the ball. Yeah, he's running like he's 40. Barkley's not in hitting shape. Does that guy look like he's ready to carry the ball and jam it up to the line of scrimmage? No. I mean, of all the people that have had, like, setbacks, and everyone wants to talk about AJ. AJ's a victim of Hurts' inability to get him the ball. And the play callers' bullshit play calls. All of that's playing a factor. Barkley not being in hitting shape to carry the mail for 340 carries again. Many of you guys were trying to give me the bullshit that Barkley was going to go for $2,000 in a row. I kept pointing out to you, this guy's never carried the ball 300 times in his entire career back to back, let alone the fact he's only carried it 300 times once in his career. And he's 28 years old. What are you talking about? You were making stuff up again. Because they put the Eagle colors on, you thought they were putting the Superman cape on. You overvalued a one-year wonder. That's what you did. I don't know if it's Barkley getting lazy or not understanding. Remember what he said? Hey, I took it easy this offseason. That's not what Eric Dickerson said. Take it easy. If you're going to be asked to carry the mail, you got to train harder than you did the year before. That's the problem with your run game. Your running back wasn't ready to play this year. The effects of 2024 affected the O-line and the running back's approach. Get this. There's no other fucking way around it. You have no other excuses. 24 beat him up. Barkley wasn't ready to play. What else? What's the other excuse? Even Kellen Moore went, turn, carry, go. Wasn't that hard? If Barkley's defense, he wasn't getting hit till 4 or 5 yards deep last season. Now it's 1. Okay? So you're telling me that this so-called fucking Hall of Fame back couldn't make other players better around him? Well, he ain't nowhere near a Hall of Fame guy that you guys were telling me he was. I saw Emmitt Smith take a shitty group of players and turn them into the greatest O-line in pro football history. The previous year that Emmitt Smith got to Dallas, that same O-line was 1-15. Emmitt gets there, that offensive line, all drafted by Landry, not Jimmy, except for Stepnoski. He turns them into the best O-line in football. Why? Because you know why? Emmitt is Emmitt. Same thing in Detroit with Barry Sanders. He turned offensive linemen that were considered decent into great O-linemen. Why? Because you had a great back. No matter who was fucking blocking for him. Same thing with Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson made everyone great around him. So Barkley can't make the guys great around him. Barkley was a product of the O-line. Not Barkley making the O-line better. The O-line was always great. Once the offensive line started taking steps back, Barkley stepped back into being the New York Giant Barkley. That's what you got a problem with your run game. Barkley's back to being Barkley because the O-line's not elite anymore. There's your problem with your run game. And get this, there's no fixing that. Only time you could fix that is next offseason, draft and free agency. Same way the Chicago Bears did it. The run of that O-line's over. It's over. The O-line is over. You put Derrick Henry on that offense, Derrick Henry will make them stiffs better because Derrick Henry's that guy. Barkley was never that guy. That's why when you see a guy like Tank Bigsby, limited carries that he gets, he bursts in there because you know why? The guy wants it. The guy's trying to make a statement and a place on the – he's fighting for a roster. Tank Bigsby's fighting for a place in the offensive game plan. Barkley is right now a caboose. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Okay? Derrick Henry ain't shit. He's now 5th all-time in touchdowns, and he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Your guy's going to the chicken coop when his career's done. Or he'll be like one of them horses or greyhounds. He's finished. Once he's done, he's in a pit. He's finished. Some career Hall of Fame guy. This guy won't break 10 grand. He won't break 10,000 yards in his career. Barkley cares more about commercials than football. I don't give a shit. Who got a ring? That doesn't mean that you're a better player, you fucking dumbass. You think because you got a ring, you're a better ball player? That's like saying Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino because he's got a ring. What a fucking dumb comment. 3,000 men have won rings. Do you know how many men are in the Hall of Fame, dummy? 340. There's a difference. This guy's stupid as ever because you know why? He thinks that ring makes you a great player. It doesn't. Jan Dotson's got a ring. Hey, according to that dumbass, that he's got a ring, that means Jahan Dotson is better than Randy Moss and T.O. Henry will have over 1,000 yards this season again at 31. And he's the only guy with like 1,500 yards, 3 straight years or some fucking wild shit. That guy couldn't. He's nowhere near Derrick Henry. Silz, I like you, but stop putting this. No. The inabilities of the offense is not just on Saquon. You combine that with a limited quarterback. No. If you're taking it that I'm blaming Saquon Barkley for the entire offensive ills, you're crazy. This is one of the many things that's wrong with the offense. You know damn well last year put a toll on him, okay? And all of our O-line, okay? Tush pushes, those rushing yards, both took a pull, okay? And? Okay. What's the point? That was the point I was making. Hey, that's the point I was making this offseason. Some of you stunads in here were trying to tell me Barkley's going for 2,000 yards again. I'm like, you're fucking nuts. If you think that, you're stupid. I'm talking about your run game. Your run game's not getting better. Your O-line is not good. It's just not good. What's your point? I just fucking made the point, dummy. The point is the many things that are wrong with the team. You want to know what's wrong with the running attack? Barkley wasn't prepared for 2025 to carry the ball 340 times. And that's what you needed for the offense to be what you had a year ago. He's on pace right now for, let me see. How many carries is this guy on pace for this year compared to what he did a year ago? Okay? That's if he plays all games. So he's on pace this year for 270 carries off of 340 regular season. That's if he continues to play. I say he ends up around 250. I think he has 100 less carries than a year ago. And 3 yards less per carry. What's that a product of? Him and the O-line. Him not being ready to hit and elevate the O-line. The O-line, Barkley didn't elevate the O-line. He was just a better player on a spectacular offensive line a year ago. The Super Bowl window for the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles is over. Your biggest rebuild next year is your O-line. Dickerson, the injuries have caught him. The center stinks. And the right guard is okay. Since 2021, Tyler Steen's the worst right guard you've had. The center had 2 great years. 1 good year. Happens. Back injury, numerous other injuries he's had, and Landon Dickerson just can't get out of the way right now. All those injuries have caught him. Okay? So did Eric Dickerson also point out that Sanders and Adrian Peterson are probably only 3 players to rush for 1,200 plus yards after a 2K season? Well, if you remember right with Dickerson's first year in the league, he went for 1,880. And then the following year, he went for 2,105. And then after that, I think he had a down year. And then after that, he came back and he had another 1,862. In Eric Dickerson's first 4 years in the NFL, I think he gained more yards than Barkley has in his career right now, if you add him up. That's how dynamic he was. In his first 4 years, he has more rushing yards than Saquon Barkley does in 9 years. Put that in your hat. That's a guy who's a bell cow back. That's a bell cow dude. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't think he can elevate anybody. I don't believe it. Barkley is a product definitely of the O-line. He doesn't make O-linemen better. The O-line's not great. He's not great. The great backs are this. Hey, a great back makes average O-linemen look great. Same with quarterbacks. Barkley doesn't make anybody look great. Just like he was right now in New York. Offensive line's not performing well. It's the running back's responsibility to make everybody else better. Emmitt Smith did. Adrian Peterson did. Derrick Henry did. All the great backs make everybody great around him. Not Barkley. Barkley is kind of the running back version of Jalen Hurts. By the way, that's not the only problem with the offense. That's one of the many problems with the offense. I didn't say he did. I just said if the O-line was healthy, he would most likely be getting, he'll never happen. Okay, you want to hear this guy? Emmitt didn't look good Emmitt Smith didn't look good in Arizona. Let's take a look at that. Emmitt Smith didn't look good in Arizona. Okay. So, Emmitt Smith didn't look good in Arizona. How old was Emmitt? 35. Okay. Probably not. Smith didn't look good at 35. He didn't look good at 35 in Arizona. And he still, get this, at 35, had 937 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns on 267 carries. Emmett didn't look good in Arizona. All right. A 35-year-old back went for 927 in 15 ball games. All right. I guess so. He averaged the same amount of yards at 35 that Barkley's averaging right now in Arizona. Barkley's at 61 yards. He's at 62 yards at 35 in Arizona. I don't know about you, but I don't remember that team being a good team that he was on in Arizona. But he still did what Barkley's doing at 30-5. Give me a break. Sileo is the Grinch that stole Jalen Hurts at Christmas. Shit, I've been telling you the same bullshit for 5 years about that guy. He's a caboose. Always will be. Silz, you out of your mind on Barkley. Eagle hater once again. Running backs make the O-line look good. Yeah. You're nuts. You play too much football. Get this. I'll give you guys. What year did Emmett get to the? Let's see here. Emmett got to the Cowboys in 1990. So 1989, let's take a look at that 1989 offensive line. Let's see here. 1989 Dallas Cowboy offensive line. Let's take a look at that. 1989 1-15 Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Let's see who their O-line was. I'm sure they added players. I'm sure that, I'm almost positive that the Cowboys were they've surely added players. So let's take a look at the O-line. Dallas Cowboys O-line. Okay. So let's see that. Dallas Cowboys O-line. Mark Tuney, Nate Newton, Tom Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, and then Kevin Gogan. Okay? So let's go to Emmett. In Emmett's first year in Dallas. So Emmitt Smith goes for 937 yards, 11 touchdowns, and is the offensive rookie of the year with that same O-line. Let's see, in 1991. Was it the same O-line? Yes. Same offensive line. Emmett goes for 1563, leads the NFL in rushing, has 18 touchdowns. With the same group that went 1-15. Did Emmett make the O-line better? Sounds like it to me, because Emmett went on to win 3 rushing titles in a row. Actually, Emmett won 4 in 5 years with that O-line. Wow. Sounds like somebody made somebody better. Somebody made somebody better. Same guys that were there with the 1-15 fucking team. I don't know. Emmett made somebody better. Hey, brother, you're exactly right. Even Michael Irvin said Emmett made O-line better. He made the line look great. None of those guys made any of the Hall of Fames except for Allen in 94. That's right. There wasn't one offensive player make the Hall of Fame outside of Larry Allen. You're telling me those guys were all fucking superstars and it's the greatest O-line of all time, and you got one Hall of Famer and nobody else is a Hall of Famer off that O-line? Fuck, you got two potential you got two Hall of Famers on that O-line in the last 5 years. You got Kelsey and Lane. Maybe Bellotta one day. This guy had no Hall of Famers but one dude. Running backs don't make O-linemen better. Okay, I'll have to remember that one. So didn't Emmett set the TD rushing? Yeah, I think he had 25 one year. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, 1995. Them had 25 rushing touchdowns. All by guys who were drafted by Tom Landry. 4 wins the year before Jimmy got there with the 1-15 team. That guy's going to try to tell you Emmett didn't make him better. Even Cowboy fans come here to get their football fixed, Big Silz. Cowboys are playing great ball right now. Right now, the Cowboys are playing the best football of any team in the NFC East. Larry Allen came to the Cowboys when they already won 2 Super Bowls in the 90s. And remember something, too. Jimmy Johnson and Bob Ackles had recruited him when he was at Humboldt State. And if I'm not mistaken, Larry Allen was a 12th round draft choice. Nobody wanted to take a chance on him. The Cowboys had started their recruiting of him when Jimmy was there, when Switzer was there, and then mostly with at the end when Switzer was there, and then Campbell had him too, because Dave Campbell, who's been on this program, is a friend. They couldn't believe what they found in the 12th round in Humboldt State University. And Larry Allen goes on to be the greatest guard in the history of the league. That's talent evaluating. Imagine if the Eagles had Emmett. They'd be crazy with Cunningham. Oh, stop. I mean, they'd be crazy. Let's see. What was that with Stebnovsky? I like Mark a lot. Why did Stebnovsky not get voted into the Hall of Fame? I think he is. I think Stebnovsky's a Hall of Fame player. He is. Silz, this organization did not do what was needed to retool the Super Bowl hangover. And that passing gives the no margin of error. This was supposed to be a throwaway season for Howie. Well, it's starting to look like that. But get this. To Howie's credit, Howie knew that, Howie knew that 25 was going to be a year because he had to do the money on the books. The Trump jinx? Yeah, that's why Hurts sucks. Hey, Trump jinx? I agree. That's why Jalen's playing poor. Should have went to the White House. Absolutely. You are dead right. He should have went to the White House. He fucked his team not going. Had a Met Gala. Hanging out with all the weirdos in Hollywood. Let me go. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. That's going to be the new battle cry. Here we go. Here we go. Was it the Eagle O-line being compared to the Cowboy O-line? One of the best of all time. I think last year's offensive line was one of the greatest of all time. Okay? Absolutely. Hey, get this. Where's that guy? Where'd he go? Where'd that Dick Ryder go? He went up too fast. Excuse me. Anyway, hit the like button. Jalenites, rise. They need you. They need you. Eagles, by the numbers now. Oh, yeah, this is Sue's favorite. This is Sue's favorite segment. Who are the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's see where these guys are. Let's see where these stiffs are. Here we go. This is some football team. This is some football team. That's a lot of real estate counts. That's a ton of real estate. Hey, listen, you're right, Arthur. I can't believe the amount of real estate criminal counts that Trump has against him. It's incredible. Thought he was like a guy in real estate. I don't know. Anyway, so I digress. Here we go. Here we go. Your Philadelphia Eagles after 11 games. Here's who they are. Ready? Okay. So do you want to start with defense or offense first? Defense or offense? Where do you want to go? Defense or offense? It doesn't really matter. These are terrible. Offense. D.O. Let's see here. Let's see. Doesn't matter. Both suck. Bring it. Let's do the offense. All right. Here's the offense. Total offense. The Philadelphia Eagles are 25th. Passing, they're 24th. Hey, you're actually fucking a little better than you were a year ago. Appreciate it, Kyle. Holy shit. We have an increase, 4 spots. You went from 28th to 24th. Jesus criminy. That's incredible. Passing offense is now 24th. Damn. There you go. Your run game is now 22nd. You're scoring, you're 20th. And third down, you're 28th. You're the worst team in football on success rate, just about. Oh, but you're number 1 in red zone. How are you number 1 in red zone with this shitty offense? My God. $200 million for that? Hell, hey, explain that to me. Well, we're hurt. Play caller. Okay, well, isn't it the GM and head coach? Hey, Glazed Donuts. Isn't that the head coach and the GM? Silz, we're 8-4. That's the only thing that's redeeming about that offense. Is that you are. And you ain't 8-4 because of your offense. That's for gosh dang sure. It's the play calling. Here's a Jalenite. It's the play caller. It's why the quarterback blows. Okay. Jalenite. Right there, baby. That's the guy right there throwing eggs. How you doing? Okay? Okay. Get this. Look at this guy make this fucking shitty offense. Oh, Jalen's playing well. The unit sucks. But Jalen's playing well. Nobody in their right mind would think that guy's playing well. Only a glazed donut, knee wagging, knee dragging Jalenite. That's who this guy is. He's a knee dragging. You know what facts are? Your offense is one of the worst in pro football. Facts. Facts. One of the worst. By the way, everyone knows it now. And get this, it's no longer a debate if the quarterback is limited. It's no longer a debate. It's not. Let's look at your defense. And I say this, and I'm going to put an asterisk around this. I think the reason why your defensive numbers have started to fall is because your bullshit offense is systematically destroying the defense in front of our eyes. They're getting killed in front of you. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're being euthanized right in front of you because your offense can't stay on the field. They're 28th and third downs. You're totally Chip Kellying them. You're wearing them out. I mean, the defense is just about on a respirator. Do I think that your defense is going to get better? No. Your defense is going to fall apart more and more. Every week. it's going the other way. The defense is getting annihilated because the offense is not good. There's no chance. And you're not deep enough. Your defensive numbers are declining. And they're going the other way because your offense can't get out of its own way. Your offense is tearing that team apart as a unit. They're 25th in defense now. What did we say they would be? Between 15 and 20? They're 25th. They're 19th in pass defense. They're 25th in run defense. They're getting smoked. They're 25th in third down defense. You know what that means? They can't get off the field. So let's put this in context here. Your offense can't stay on the field because they're 28th. And your defense can't get off the field because they're 25th. This is why you're getting beat. I mean, you can't stay on the field offensively, and you can't get off the field defensively. That's who the Eagles are. Margin of error, one turnover, you lose. It could be the Raiders. Are you good enough to beat the Rams? Oh, yeah. Are you bad enough to lose to the Raiders? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Get this. Those numbers, the only two numbers that truly matter is third down and scoring. And your defense is ninth in scoring defense. That's the only reason you're 8-4. Is because Vic plays great red zone defense. Because he's the better coach in the building. The only reason you're 8-4, nothing to do with your offense. You're 19th in scoring offense. You're not really anybody. You can't stay on the field, and you can't get off the field. 2025 Philadelphia Eagles. There you go. Those aren't opinions. That's how you play the game. It's either crash and burn, then make changes in the offseason, or benching the quarterback or firing the OC. Brandon, when you act like that, you act like the Browns and the Jets. That's not Eagle behavior. I'm not fucking making all them moves like that. The Jets do that shit. That's why the Jets are the Jets. You called Hurts a caboose. What's that? Well, easy. There's bus drivers and bus riders. Hurts is a bus rider. He's at the back of the locomotive. And you got a big old train pulling it in the front. There's bus drivers and bus riders. Pick one. Silz, check out the interview I had with Xander in the postgame. The problem isn't who we're playing, it's how we're playing. Yeah. I buy that. Would the Eagles be better with a Wildcat offense? Fuck, you got that now. Hurts will not get benched. I promise you that. Only reason that fucking guy's not getting benched is because they got a $50 million no-trade contract with him. Of course he's not. You're tied to that guy no matter what he fucking does. Whether he's great, he sucks. No, you're right. They ain't going anywhere. Hey, let's bench him for Tanner McKee. That's idiotic. You bench him, you're putting $50 million on the bench. Teams don't name me one $50 million quarterback who gets fucking benched. Name me one guy even on shitty teams that has been benched. One guy that makes $50 million and has been benched. Let me think. None. Okay? Hey, kid, I'm talking about in the recent lifetime, not 25 years ago. Who was making 25? Who was making $50 million in San Francisco? I must have missed that guy. Who was that guy? Brock Purdy? Who was making $50 million? San Francisco's never had a $50 million a year quarterback. What's fucking wrong with you? Hold on. Carson Wentz was making $50 million? When? Deshaun Watson wasn't benched. He got hurt. Fuck you talking about? Evangamen. Good afternoon, Silz. Hiring Patullo was questionable in the beginning. Welcome to the club. I welcome everyone on the victory float over here. We told you that thing was stupid. Purdy wasn't benched, dickhead. Purdy was hurt. He wasn't benched. He missed 8 games with injury. Benched. Wasn't fucking benched. Silz compared me to Reyes last week for misreading text. Dang, that stung. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I take that back. Because there's no way that you are a knee-dragging dude like that guy. Howie Roseman. By the way, we made these custom knee pads for him, and he can walk around his house on his knee. M. Reyes, I found out, is 4'1", because he walks his life around on his knees with his Howie Roseman knee pads. And he's just walking around going, I know he's good. Yeah, M. Reyes is actually 4'1". Silz, he's 4'1"? Yeah, because he rolls around on his knees. Nick's a little taller, I heard, because he rolls around on his Howie Roseman knees. Hey. Howie just brings everything to the table. I mean, I've never seen more talent in my entire life. Oh, my God, I've never seen more talent. I mean, we got to thank Howie. Howie does everything great. He puts all the great players in the room. It was incredible. I was like, fuck, guy. At least wipe your lips. I mean, at least put some, hey, put some chapstick on at least. I mean, Jesus criminy. At least put some chapstick on. Hey, the next time Nick does a press conference, someone should throw him some chapstick. Hey, Nick, you're going to need this because the Howie glazing, your lips get a little stuck, and I can't understand some of the words you say, especially when you say no changes at OC. Okay. I mean, here, can you see M. Reyes? Couldn't it be great at the NovaCare Center watching him? Go, Nick, go! Go, Chadwick, go! He's walking around, sliding around on his knees, looking up at everybody like he's like 5 years old. He's 4'1" on knee pads. Nick, Sirianni, Howie, Roseman. He's just walking around. I love you guys. Fucking crazy. I don't know how he keeps his neck like that. He needs a neck brace. I give him a horseshoe, one of them old school horseshoes. You know, remember them horseshoes you wear back with your shoulder pads? M. Reyes needs one of those, man. I couldn't keep my head back like that. He's like a little infant bird. How you doing? Oh, my God. He's like a little infant bird. So, Chuck, I apologize to you, man. How you doing there, kid? It's all good. All right. Hey, so what do you make of who your Eagles are? Let's see here, man. Let's see. I got to do it again. You're 25th in total offense, and you're 25th. Okay. Hey, you're right on top of that game. Jesus criminy. Yeah, but I love all the players that how he's brought in. Really? The Keely Ringos? Jesus criminy. Keely Ringo's still on the team. Good for him. I mean, that guy's got some dirt on somebody.